And it is also about using structures. So depending on the question type will influence our structure. Each of the different 5 question types has 5 different structures. So when we're analyzing the question, we should be thinking about our structures already. So let's look at planning. Why should we waste time planning, and how does it help us? It helps us think of relevant ideas. We're going to look at how to quickly and easily think of ideas. I have 3 or 4 different methods, and you can choose whichever method you want. It helps us with timing. Lots of students say, why are you wasting my time? I don't have enough time with planning. Planning actually saves you a lot of time. If you have planned before and you feel like you don't have enough time, it's because you haven't planned properly. I'm going to show you how to plan properly in a way that will help you save time. We again think about structure. Structure is very, very important. So we take our main ideas and we insert them into a structure that we have memorized. So it's very, very quick, and it's the same every single time. And planning also helps us with our vocabulary and grammar. If you have all of your ideas and you've inserted them into the structure, you can focus just on writing and making sure that you don't make grammar mistakes, that you don't make vocabulary mistakes. So people who plan properly, they have less mistakes and they get a higher mark for vocabulary and grammar. And planning also helps to reduce stress. A person who is stressed will usually do a lot worse than someone who is relaxed. So let's look at an overview of our introduction. What should we include in our introduction? We have to paraphrase the question, we have to write the question in our own words, and we have to give our opinion and outline our main points. It helps us to organize our essay, making it easier to read. So it makes it easier for the examiner to understand what you're doing. And if the examiner understands clearly what you're doing, then you will get a higher mark for coherence, which is very good news. It helps you to focus on the rest of the essay. If you have outlined your main ideas, you don't have to think of any main ideas in the rest of your essay, so it helps you to focus on that. And the introduction should be short. It should be 2-3 sentences maximum. So we're going to show you later how to do all of these things in just 2 or 3 sentences. So now let's look at an overview of what we should include in our supporting paragraphs. These should be 2 separate paragraphs. The reason why you do that is separate them out is to show the examiner A, that you know how to use paragraphing properly, and B, to show the examiner that you have 2 separate points. These should include your main ideas and they should support your opinion in the introduction. So you've already stated your opinion in the introduction and you are supporting these with your main ideas. You have to explain what your main ideas mean and you have to support your main ideas with examples. And these should be about 3 to 5 sentences, around 100 words. So now let's look at the conclusion. What things should we include in the conclusion? Conclusion is basically a summary of your main points, and it should also reiterate your opinion. Reiterate means just state again. So we mentioned our main ideas before when we were talking about our introduction, our conclusion, and our main body. So let's look at how our main ideas spread throughout the essay. So the first part of our essay is the introduction, and we state our main ideas briefly. We don't go into any detail. We just state them briefly in the introduction. Then we explain our main ideas and support them with examples in the supporting paragraphs, the 2 supporting paragraphs in the middle. Finally, we summarize our main ideas. Again, no detail, just a summary in the conclusion. And now let's look at our opinion. So our opinion should be in the introduction. Then we support our opinion in the main body. And then we state our opinion one last time in the conclusion. It is part of the marking criteria that it states that you must have your opinion clearly throughout the whole essay. So by following this method, you will easily tick that box and you'll be able to get one of the higher marks. Okay, that's the end of the module, so let's just review what we did. We took a tour of the course, we established a plan of action, what we need to do in order to achieve our goals, we found out the basic requirements of task 2, and we learned about the simple 5-step approach, breaking it down into 5 simple steps. And later, in subsequent modules, we will be going into much more detail on each of those 5 steps. So you should have a good overview of the things that you need to do in task 2, but just an overview. We're going to go into much more detail later. So what are we going to do next module? We're going to look at the 5 different types of question, how to tell the difference between them and how to easily identify each of them. And we're going to look at how to understand and analyze any question. So the first part of the 5-step approach, question analysis, we're going to get into much more detail in next module. Okay, see you in the next module. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed module 1. Hello, this is Pell from IELTS Advantage.